Hello, Chip GT here. In the last video, we built the back box and we did a test fit on top of it. In this one, we're going to mount the back box to the cabinet using the Bolly Williams hinges. We're going to fix a couple of mistakes that I made when I built the back box. Without any further delay, let's coin in and push that start button. Okay, in order to mount this, I'm going to first put in some alignment holes. I went ahead and I drilled over, I went over 1.5 inches. We're going to drill straight down from the middle, and these, I'm going to use these are 2-inch long 6mm bolts, and we're just going to align this through the back box, through the spacer, and into the bottom, or sorry, into the top of the upper part of the cabinet. So that went all the way down, that went all the way down, so everything's aligned appropriately. I'm using a 6mm washer and a 6mm wing nut on the bottom of these bolts just to hold everything in place. These alignment screws are also going to be the way that we lock down the cabinet when it is not in transit mode. So when it's full upright, we'll lock it down like that. And then I'm going to come along this side. Same thing again. Washer, wing nut. I'm just going to reach down through the hole. Up to the bottom. Okay, now that's not going anywhere, so that's locked in the up position. Now, unfortunately, the original holes that I drilled for these when I built my cabinet isn't going to work because we had to offset this up by 5mm. So that's a carryover problem that I have to solve now. So I slid these all the way forward to the front leading edge, the hinges, and I'm going to use a really small drill bit to drill through as a guide for this Forstner bit. And the Forstner bit, we just want to go in about 1/4 inch in order to feed this lock nut into the wood and lock everything down. That way these lights can stay smooth against the cabinet. So that's what I'm about to do here now. I'm just trying to line everything up. I'm going to get my punch though as a punch guide. Punch this side first. This is just the punch. That looks to be about centered. What that does is it puts a nice little hole into the side of the cabinet for that drill bit to follow and not skip around all over the place. Here's this one. It's pretty centered. And now I'm just going to drill through slowly. Other side. Take that drill bit out and we'll put it away. And that just gave us a guide for this Forstner bit on the inside. This Forstner bit is a 1-inch Forstner bit. This is about, I don't know, like 15/16 or whatever the millimeter equivalent is. I'm just going to see here. I may have to try to. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove the screen in order to get to this. So I'm going to cut it here, remove the screen, and come back. Alright, so now I'm going to line up that Forstner bit here with the new hole that we just made. Right there. And I'm only going to come in a little bit, but I try to give you guys the best view that I can. I'm going to check. I only went in just a hair. I'm going to come back and check to make sure that it's flush, because I don't want to go too deep, because then it'll push through all the way. All right, that ended up working out really well. Let's go do the other side. Forstner bits are designed to give you a nice clean hole. I'm going to show you how nice and clean that is. So you're going to see the old hole that I made, but look at how clean that hole is. Alright. And that nut will sit right in there. We're going to widen this hole here and then start connecting the harper. In order to widen the hole here, I ended up needing to take the back box off. I'm using a 1/2-inch drill bit, and using that alignment hole that we made with the smaller drill bit, I'm just going to drill through nice and slow and make sure it's nice and centered. Went in a little crooked. So I'm going to use a scaling method where you start with a small bit and you scale your way up on the outside in. Let's see how that works out. Okay, let's see how that fits. Fits all right. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, now on this right side, I went in a little bit crooked. And the way you fix that is with a nice file. So I'm going to file it and then we'll come back. Okay, so this file was getting me nowhere. I ended up getting my Dremel tool. I put a routing bit on there. I put the shield on there so it's nice and flat. And then I went in here and took it up where it needed to go. And now you can see how far off that hole was. It was off all the way up here in this corner. So now we need to fill these other holes with some wood putty. And we need to fill the inside holes. We need to fill those inside holes right there with wood putty as well. So we'll be back for that. Got some wood filler and a 2-inch blade to apply it. We're going to cut this thing open here. And this stuff is nice because it comes out kind of a pinkish kind of color. And when it's dry, it'll be the same color as the wood. So I'm just gonna go with the grain of the wood. Just try to fill that, and then we'll sand off any excess. So I'm just trying to glob it on there right now. There we go. And then on the other side it came through a little bit, so just gonna fill this in with my finger. There we go. Now we'll do the other side. Alright. That putty filler is going to take about 6 hours to cure. But while it's curing, we can go ahead and we'll reattach the box, we'll rotate it forward, and we'll permanently mount this shim to the bottom of it. Okay, we'll start by reattaching our alignment bolts. Here and here. And we'll make sure everything is lined back up. Wow. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and insert in the lock nut on this side. We'll put the lock nut in on the other side. And then I made these washers. So these are the 2-inch washers from the previous video, and the felt pads. The felt pads have a sticky on them, and I just stuck the felt to the back of the washer, and then using an X-Acto knife I cut the hole around there, and the idea is that the felt will go against the cabinet and protect the artwork, while these bolts will go through and lock them in place. So this will give us our spacing that we need between the hinge and the cabinet, and it'll protect the artwork when we put it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. Line them up. And then these bolts are square pegged at the end. That's what makes them kind of special. And then using a Allen wrench, you can kind of push the nut in and tighten it up. I'm just making it good and tight right now, so it's going down till it stops, and then adding in a quarter turn more. Okay, so the spacer and the washer's in there, the carriage bolt's right here. This is a number 7 Allen wrench to turn the hex key here, or turn the Allen wrench, and I'm just going to make it good and tight. I'm not going to make it super tight because I want this to be able to pivot and come down. Now let's take out the alignment bolts, or pop them up. Not take them out all the way, but pop them up a little bit so that we can fold it down. And as it goes down, boom, it's on there. It's folded down nicely, and it's not going to dent anything. The T-molding is acting as a buffer. And now we can figure out a way to permanently attach the spacer here. So just put my arm through the center. I'll line up the alignment piece or bolt. There we go. There we go. Make sure it's flush with the front. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down with the washer and the wing nuts. Okay, and I've got some 1/2-inch screws that have a tapered head. These are just for my scrounge. We're going to go ahead and drill in a couple of holes. Okay, now this should be able to close flush because all those screws are flush, with the exception of the mounting bolts. Oh, look at that. And there's the alignment bolts. It came loose when we turned it. Left to tighten it down more than good and tight. With a little bit of wiggling, I was able to get the alignment bolts in, and I realized that the bolts and the nuts on the side of the bracket had come loose. So I tightened them down just a little bit tighter. And I think this is a good place where we can cut the video. In the next video, we're going to start adding components to the back box, but I was really pleased with how this one turned out. We were able to fix my mistakes, and we were able to close the back box to the closed position for transportation. If you found this video entertaining, please give it a like, please subscribe. Let your friends know about it by sharing it out so that the channel can continue to grow. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.